Breaking in the last 1 minute, 30 seconds actually, the government has lost the vote to try and suppress the Epstein, Mandelson, Keir Starmer files. Well, actually, they didn't lose it because they couldn't afford to put it to the vote. So big was the feeling amongst all these hypocrites in Parliament who beamed so warmly at Peter Mandelson over so many decades. Now they're shocked, they tell you, horrified, they tell you, to discover that Peter Mandelson, the man known since the 1980s as the Prince of Darkness, was indeed the Prince of Darkness. But they made it clear to the government that they would not be supporting Keir Starmer's efforts to suppress these documents. And so now all correspondence between Mandelson and Keir Starmer and advisors, as they debated the pros and cons of appointing, I'm not making this up, a man who received, together with his boyfriend, then husband, he received £100,000 in cash from Jeffrey Epstein. He received untold amounts in hospitality, flights, accommodation, designer belts, clothes, who knows, even underpants, over decades. Peter Mandelson, who phoned Jeffrey Epstein in prison, who called Jeffrey Epstein and said, "When is Liberation Day?" Liberation Day, not of Auschwitz, but of the release from prison of a convicted child sex trafficker. How shall we celebrate it, says Peter Mandelson. And Epstein replies with a couple of strippers, although I'm not sure Mandy fully grasped that point. But the situation is now critical. The Epstein class is being swept away. Crowned heads are falling in Europe. National security advisors, United Nations individuals, members of governments, ambassadors in the case of Mandelson, and other ambassadors are, I understand, set to follow. This is a deluge. This is a kind of Versailles moment where the rotten ancien regime is suddenly swept away as a critical mass of opposition to it builds up, and they will hope to throw some sacrifices to the wolves.